Hello world, my name is Shane, and today I'm going to be talking about why it's hard to make good decisions, or better yet, why it's hard to make the right decision all the time. Good decisions and right decisions are different, but they're not mutually exclusive. You can make a good right decision, or a good wrong decision, or a bad right decision, or a bad wrong decision. Um, Obviously, semantics and definitions are really going to depend on what that is, but I'm going to use the word right. And the reason why I'm going to use the word right is because when we're trying to make the right decision, we're trying to make the decision that's best for the situation. We're trying to make the right choice. And the too long didn't watch lesson about this whole video is that it's very, very difficult to make the right choice because we're never gonna know what the right choice is, and we really just need to do the best that we can with what we have. But I want to talk about it a little bit more than that. So if the answer was all you were looking for, I just gave it. Why is it hard to make the right choice? Well, let's use an example. Right now, I am taking care of my father. My father has cancer. He has liver cancer. And let's look at a situation with his medication. My father is in pain. I give him pain medication because he's in pain. And then an hour later, well, he's still in pain, and he says he doesn't feel any better. So I'm like, okay. So I give him more pain medication. And then an hour later, he still feels the same. Well, is it the right choice to give him more pain medication? Even though he could get addicted, he could overdose, there's any number of things that could possibly go wrong. And I'm not saying there is no right choice, but what I'm saying is it's very, very difficult to know what the right choice is. I think the right choice was not to give him anything else, and I didn't. And what happened was we actually gave him a different medication later that night, and he had a bad reaction to it. He's better now, but it was a scary time. We made what we thought was the right choice, but maybe it wasn't the right choice after all. And at the end of the day, I think it was. But that's the thing, is that we don't know what the right choice is all the time. But we need to make what we think is the best choice at the time. And that can go for any interaction that we have with someone else. When we decide what we're doing, when we decide how we're going to interact with them, when we decide how much we're going to let them in our lives, when we decide, what kind of relationship that we want to have with a person. I would say that the human personality is just as predictable and dynamic as the human body. That no matter what choice you make, it's going to be... You never really know if it's the right one. But at the time, you need to be sure that you've done the right thing. And as I'm thinking about it, maybe that's really hard to grasp. You need to do what you think is right with all the information that you have. And if you don't have all the information and can get more, then you should. And you need to make a decision or make life choices that you can be proud of, or that you're not going to regret at the end of the day. And that goes for everything. That goes for the friends we decide to make. That goes for most important life decisions, I'd say, and even some of the unimportant ones. If I decide to trust somebody, trust them enough to lend them money, I have to be pretty darn sure that they're trustworthy before making that choice. Because if I'm not sure, then I give it to them and then they burn me or they never pay me back. Well, I had to have been sure enough at the time to where I can look back at that later and say, well, with all the information I have, there was no reason for me not to trust that person. And not regret it. And not regret it. And that goes, it goes for just about everything. Am I going to undertake a risky procedure to make my life more comfortable, but possibly die in the process? Am I going to miss my son's graduation because I decided that I wanted to go partying instead? Am I going to cancel plans on someone because I want to get back at them? I don't value their friendship anymore. Or maybe they don't value me in the way they should. The list goes on. There's a plethora of things that can come up that, again, it's impossible to really know. But all I can say is, for anyone out there listening to this, do your best to get everything that you need to make the best choice possible, the right choice. And even if it winds up going badly, that you did everything you could, and you can look back at that situation and have no regrets about what happened. I had a few drinks at a party the other night, but I slept in so that I could drive home. But even though I did sleep, I still got into a car accident, but it wasn't my fault. Or maybe it was. But I did everything I could to prevent that. Just an example. I think that's all I really need to say about it. I think that each person needs to decide for themselves how much effort they want to put in to making sure that they're happy with their choices in life. And if they're not, then they should probably try to fix that. Anyways, my name is Shane. I seek to be the realest person on the internet. If you have any questions, just let me know. You have a good one. Signing out.